All right, let's invite up Josh Brekeisen. Sorry. Josh Brekeisen. His speech is entitled, Living the Dream. That's Living the Dream, Josh Brekeisen.
Hi everyone, I'm a dreamer. And I think most people are. Who here would say that they're a dreamer? Dreamed of something great. I want to hear something that you've dreamt about. But
Writing a book.
Writing a book. Awesome. How long did it take you to do that?
Still working on it.
Still working on it.
But it's
Cool.
almost done.
All right, but you've never given up on it. Awesome. Anyone else? Carrie Ann.
Retired elementary teaching after 30 years,
Okay.
and I own my own business.
Nice. You've always wanted to own your own business?
Yes.
Cool. Very cool. Good job. And obviously, from your speech, you've never given up on it, right? You're a fighter. I love that about you. Anyone else wants to share a dream? Awesome. So these are some examples of dreams. I know you guys all have your dreams of your own. Well, when I was growing up, my dream was to be a performer. I wanted to entertain people. Now, as a kid, I probably had some ill-advised ways that I did this. I would jump off of buildings. I would have people drop skateboards on my head. That wasn't the smartest one. And my mom's personal favorite, when we were at the Grand Canyon, I leaned over the edge as far as I could get myself to spit and see how far I could get it to go out. Right? Guys, I was living the dream. I just wanted to entertain people, right? I knew everybody was watching, and I do those things. I'd also try to be the class clown. And I tell dumb jokes, right? I remember one of my favorite ones in elementary school was, how much does a pirate pay for his earrings? A buccaneer! As kids, nobody laughed. We laugh because we know it's a dumb dad joke, right? But as a kid, I would hear my dad say these, and I would tell them, and nobody would laugh. And then I'd steamroll the lunch table, going over everybody's lunches, and they'd be like, "Oh my gosh," it was awful. Another way that I really tried to entertain people as a kid was through sports. I think the pinnacle of this, and I love this story. I fought so many years to become a collegiate athlete. And many of you know the story that I've told about that. I played volleyball at BYU, and I walked on after 3 years of being the first one in and the last one to leave at every single practice. I finally got a chance to play in our last match of our senior year. I got put in at match point. The ball was set, and I realized it was coming to me. I went up and I swung. And the ball hit the floor and the crowd just exploded. And I'll tell you what, that energy of 5,500 people just losing their minds in excitement and joy because of something you did, there was a connection I felt with those people. That was amazing. I wanted more. And that's what it was about for me. It was connecting with the individual people and feeling their energy and sharing that with them. And it took me a lot of years to realize this. But you know, something happens after you graduate from college. You kind of come to this thought process of, my dreams really aren't going to pan out. I need to find something more practical, something more logical. So I did something more practical and more logical. I got a job. Now, don't get me wrong. Like, I've had a really successful career running several recruiting businesses, and I can't complain. However, I felt about a year ago just something dying inside me. I felt like I wasn't living the dream. I felt like I was just doing something because I was scared to follow my dreams, because I was trying to be more logical about following my dreams. And at that point, I joined Toastmasters. And I came and I shared my speech with you guys. I shared my, I'm the Rudy of BYU volleyball speech with you guys. And I left there. I was so excited. You guys don't even know. Like, I left that meeting and I called my wife and I was like, honey, I'm going to be a public speaker. I'm going to do that. And she was like, I hear kids in the background. And she's, yeah, honey, All right, sorry, obviously she didn't have the attention for me. So I called my dad, who's always been a huge supporter of mine, the next big supporter in my life. And he was working on piping or something in his house underneath his sink. And I could tell he was working. He's like, oh, yeah, well, sorry, yeah. He didn't have time for me either. So then I called my brother. He's like, yeah, I've got a minute for you. And I tell him all about what I'm feeling and how I'm going to follow my dream. And he says to me, you need a lot more sustained success than that, Josh, for people to want to listen to you. Guys, there's something that happens to you when the people you love most don't support you at those times. Now, I know they don't even realize they're saying those things. I know they love me and support me and would do anything for me. But it was just another thing that got in my way from letting me fulfill and live my dreams. So over the next year, I realized I needed to put forth a lot more effort to overcome all these obstacles that got in my way. I started taking every training I could. I started reading books. I was speaking everywhere I could. And after a year, it was actually on my anniversary, my wife said, honey, don't you think you should focus on your business a little bit more and stop, trying to live this dream and do presentations where nobody shows up? I was doing presentations and nobody was showing up. And I'd still do them. I'd do the presentation just the same. It was at that point where I realized that all these years I've been living my dream. I was coaching my employees on their strengths. I was coaching them on techniques for recruiting. I started to write for a recruiting organization, and they asked me to speak. And I decided to risk everything. I closed my business about 3 months ago. And in that time, I've made over $40,000. I have had partnerships from some of the largest recruiting organizations in the world. Paul Allen, the founder of Ancestry.com, wants to collaborate with me. Guys, I'm living the dream. I'm living the dream, and you can too.